The Earth's climate is changing, temperatures are rising, and with that comes a silent killer: 100% humidity heat waves. These are not just ordinary hot days. They are a deadly combination of heat and moisture that can overwhelm even the healthiest bodies. As the planet warms, these events are becoming more frequent and intense, posing a serious threat to human life. We need to understand this danger and take action to protect ourselves. The future of our planet depends on it. These heat waves are particularly dangerous because they disrupt the body's natural cooling system, sweating. When humidity is high, sweat cannot evaporate as easily. This traps heat within the body, leading to heat stroke and potentially death. Unlike a dry heat, which allows for some evaporation, 100% humidity creates a stifling environment where escape from the heat is almost impossible. It is a silent and invisible threat, but one with deadly consequences. Extreme heat is dangerous on its own. However, when combined with high humidity, it becomes a deadly threat. High humidity prevents the body from cooling itself effectively. Sweat, the body's natural cooling mechanism, relies on evaporation to dissipate heat. In a humid environment, this process is significantly slowed down. Imagine stepping outside on a hot summer day. The air is thick and heavy with moisture. Your skin feels sticky and breathing becomes labored. This is the feeling of high humidity. Now imagine that feeling amplified, the air so saturated with moisture that it feels like you're suffocating. This is the dangerous reality of 100% humidity heat waves. When humidity reaches these extreme levels, even healthy individuals are at risk. The elderly, children, and those with pre-existing health conditions are particularly vulnerable. Heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and heat cramps become serious concerns. The combination of extreme heat and high humidity creates a dangerous situation that demands our attention and action. Wet bulb thermometers are crucial for understanding extreme heat and humidity. Unlike regular thermometers, they measure both temperature and humidity. This gives a more accurate feel of the heat. Our bodies experience the combined effect of heat and humidity. The bulb is covered with a wet wick. Air passing over the wick cools the bulb. Cooling is related to humidity. Higher humidity means less evaporation and higher wet bulb temperature. Wet bulb temperature reveals when the body can't cool itself. At 95 degrees Fahrenheit, even healthy individuals will succumb to heat within 6 hours. Section 4. The body's breaking point. When sweating fails. Sweating is our body's natural air conditioning system. When we get hot, our bodies release sweat onto the surface of our skin. As the sweat evaporates, it takes heat with it, cooling us down. However, this system has a critical flaw. It relies on evaporation. When humidity is high, the air is already saturated with moisture, making it difficult for sweat to evaporate. Imagine trying to dry a wet towel in a steam room. The air is already full of moisture, so the towel remains damp. This is similar to what happens to our bodies in high humidity. The sweat just sits on our skin, unable to evaporate and cool us down. As our internal temperature rises, we experience heat stress. This can manifest as heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and ultimately heat stroke. Heat stroke is a life-threatening condition where the body's temperature regulation system fails. It can lead to organ damage, coma, and even death. High humidity significantly increases the risk of heat stroke because it prevents our bodies from cooling down effectively. Heat waves and rising humidity levels. Heat waves with high humidity are a global crisis. They affect every continent and claim lives at an alarming rate. The World Health Organization estimates over 166,000 deaths from heat waves between 1998 and 2017. This number is expected to rise as temperatures climb. In 2003, Europe experienced a devastating heat wave that killed 70,000 people. In India, a 2015 heat wave resulted in over 2,500 deaths. These events are stark reminders of the deadly consequences of extreme heat and humidity. The problem is particularly acute in regions with already hot and humid climates. However, as global temperatures rise, even regions unaccustomed to extreme heat are experiencing more frequent and intense heat waves. This is a global crisis that requires a global response. We must take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate the effects of climate change. Section 6. A future engulfed in heat. Our call to action. The future is undeniably intertwined with the reality of a warming planet. As global temperatures continue to rise, so too will the frequency and intensity of deadly heat waves. The combination of extreme heat and high humidity poses a significant threat to human health and well-being, pushing us towards a future where survival is increasingly precarious. We are at a critical juncture. The choices we make today will determine the course of our future. We can choose to ignore the warning signs and continue down a path of environmental destruction, or we can choose to act to mitigate the effects of climate change and to protect our planet for future generations. The time for complacency is over. We need urgent and decisive action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition to renewable energy sources, and create a more sustainable future. This is not just an environmental issue, it is a matter of public health, social justice, and global security. The future is in our hands. Let us choose wisely.